Okay, so what is up guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is a Q&A. As you can probably tell, I climbed a mountain to come do this Q&A. I'm not sure why I did that, but let's just not waste any of your time and get right into it. I got a bunch of questions from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and some of these people are my friends, disclaimer, so the questions might be ridiculous, but yeah, let's just get right into it. The first question comes from somebody called White Walker on Twitter, and he asks, are you looking to expand soon and in what areas? Hi White Walker, I'm not sure what you think I do, but I don't exactly own like a production house or anything like that. I'm mostly a one-man shoot, one-man army, except for the times when I have my brother with me. He is behind the camera right now. Shout outs to him. But yeah, I am not really looking to expand anything, but if there's one area that I'd like to improve, it would be, you know, getting more camera gear. Like I am already getting more camera gear, but you know, currently I'm shooting with a GH4 and a Rokinon, and I am looking at picking up a G9 and another Rokinon, maybe something a little wider like the 24 or the 16. Mostly because, you know, now my brother basically lives with me, so I like to have two cameras so that he can shoot his stuff and I can shoot my stuff, and you know, we can basically just grow together as content creators and whatnot. So I guess that's that for that. Timothy, hey, what's good, man? Timothy, Simple Tech Review. He asks, if money was not an issue, what would be your dream camera and lens lineup? That is actually a terribly good question. When I think about it, money really isn't an issue. Like, so I don't really think it could ever really be a problem or something to really consider when I'm trying to buy camera gear. But off the top of my head, my favorite camera to own right now would probably be like the Canon 1DX Mark II with maybe my Rokinon Trinity. That would be the 16, the 24, and the 35 Canon mount. And I'll probably pick up the Canon 24 to 35, the full frame version, just for autofocus, so I have something that I can use to vlog and stuff like that. That'll basically just be about it. But like I said, money really isn't an issue, and naturally I could pick up that camera tomorrow with all those lenses, but it would be completely unnecessary because I don't feel like I have earned it or I have deserved it. I haven't really shot enough commercial stuff to really warrant buying a camera like that. I haven't really shot anything super high budget for me to really justify buying a $5,000 camera body or a $6,000 camera body with all those lenses at once. Eventually I'm gonna get there, but for now I think I'm fine with the GH4, you know, with a few lenses, and my next upgrade is definitely not going to be the 1DX Mark II. I'll probably still get a G9 or GH5 like I said before. Next question comes from my buddy Leo. Baba, what's good? He goes, what is your overall goal with your channel? What is that one piece of tech you would want to get your hands on to use / review and collect? Okay, my goal with my channel. This is a very easy question. When I first started YouTube, I remember I sent a tweet when I was at 300 subscribers, and I said, I will come back to this tweet when I get to 300 subscribers, 300,000 subscribers, I mean. So I guess you could say my goal is to get to 300,000 subscribers. I'm not sure if I'm now going to set new goals when I get there, but at that point, I think I would be able to actually say I have done YouTube and I've actually succeeded at YouTube. I mean, 300,000 is a lot. Some stadiums don't even take 100,000. So, you know, yeah. Next question comes from Beefy Tech Kushagra. What's good, brother? How you doing? It goes, what inspires you to make more and more videos? Wow, very good question. If you might have noticed, like recently in the past few months, I haven't really been making a lot of videos. Not because I don't want to or I haven't been shooting stuff, I really just didn't feel like it. So you could say maybe I was lacking in inspiration or I just wasn't interested. But recently I found this YouTuber, her name is the Delphinator. She basically made me feel very insecure with her consistency, especially because she reminded me of how consistent I was when I started doing YouTube. She basically like posts every day. It's ridiculous. It's unbelievable. So yeah, I basically started this competition with her where I said from March I'm going to start uploading more videos than she does, and so far I think I'm on course. I don't really know, but Delphinator, if you're watching this, thank you. You actually inspire me to make more videos. I know it's hard because I've never actually met you, but thank you. Okay, the next question is from the big man himself, Kaiser. What's good, Kaiser? Reveal. Expensive camera and kit lens, or expensive lens and entry-level camera? Wow, such a tough question. I mean, if I said what I'm about to say now, I might seem like an hypocrite because I have this expensive setup, but honestly, I feel like an entry-level camera with a really, really, really expensive lens, a really good lens, a really fast lens is always going to be the way to go, because, you know, expensive camera body and a shitty lens. I mean, if somebody really creative was handling that, somebody who had some experience, sure, you can make amazing stuff with anything, and gear is not really the most important thing, but it does matter a little bit, and you know, it does affect your storytelling, it does limit your creativity in certain ways, and you know, all these little things matter. And I think like a lot of creators say that gear doesn't matter, just go out and shoot. Well, yes, they're right in a way, but it does matter a little bit. So yeah, I would say entry-level camera with a very expensive lens, but not just expensive, a really good lens. Really, really good lens. Okay, my buddy Oliver asks, hey, what's good, Oliver? He asks, what are your go-to LUTs for Panasonic cameras? The ones I use are great for Canon, but terrible for Panasonic. And this is actually probably the best question I have received today. First off, most people wouldn't want to agree with this, especially a lot of Micro Four nerds. People like me, in fact, we really didn't want to believe this at the start. But Panasonic colors really aren't that great. Like, I don't know if it's the sensor size or I really don't know, but the colors are just not great. And it takes a lot of extra work to get things to look and feel and, you know, seem the way that you want them to seem for your videos, for your storytelling. Like, it takes a lot of color grading to get my footage to the right places sometimes. So I absolutely understand your pain, Oliver. But I think a few things that you would need to note are probably your color profiles. Me personally, I shoot Cinelike D with everything turned down to -5 except sharpness, which is -3, because I really don't like to have to spend a lot of time sharpening my videos in post when I'm color grading. So there's that. Color profiles matter. And also, I can't really say I have go-to LUTs for Panasonic, because most of the time I color grade with LUTs that I created in Lightroom, or sometimes I just do everything from the ground up, like, you know. But there are a few LUTs that I have slapped on my footage before that actually look good. Christian McGrab, he has this signed vintage LUT. I think he sells for like €8 or something. And then there's this other LUT he has. I can't remember the name right now, but I'm going to leave it in the links, like in the description. So if you want to buy those, you can just pick them up. They look great if you're shooting with a lot of light. If you don't have a lot of light, they're still not going to look good. I'm sorry. It's just one of the banes of using Panasonic and Micro Four Thirds, I guess. Next question is from Titilayo, and it says, how often do you eat? That sounds like a really caring question, Titilayo. Thank you so much for asking that. Honestly, I probably don't eat as much as I should because I'm always so busy. Recently, I started this job with this company called Melody, a music discovery app basically, and it's not really full-time exactly. It's supposed to be part-time, but technically it's still kind of full-time because you know, it's a very demanding position, and I'm not complaining, but when you combine that with the fact that I'm a freelancer and the fact that I make YouTube videos on the side and I have other clients locally in Nigeria, it's difficult to remember to eat on some days. It's just how it is. And most days maybe I eat once if I do remember. Some other days I don't eat at all, and Some days, maybe if I decide to take a break, like it's a Sunday and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm not working today, maybe I eat 3 times if I'm lucky. If I'm not doing anything that, you know, is taking up my time. And Moyosore asks, what's the best thing that ever happened to you while shooting? Wow, that's actually a really good question. Let's see. Okay, well, I'd have to say maybe it would be inspiring little kids when I am outside and outdoors and shooting. Like, I'm the kind of person that I try to find the beauty in all sorts of things. It could be just a woman on the roadside selling corn, and I'm watching her create what she's doing, and it's so hearty and beautiful and so deep. And, you know, I just want to make a video about that, and I want to add it to a video at some later date, and I just sit down there, compose my shots, kneel down, get on the floor, lie down with my white shirts. It doesn't even matter. I go crazy sometimes shooting in public and people think I'm mad. But I remember this one occasion when I was shooting, and, you know, a bunch of school students that were leaving school, probably going home or going to play football or something, and they stopped by and they gathered around me and they were watching me doing my stuff, and, you know, they seemed genuinely interested, asking me questions about, uncle, what kind of camera is this? How much did you buy this camera? What do you do for a living? Kiniko, things like that, you know. And that's just really so warm and fun to see that there's kids that are interested in things like that. And this brings me to one of my most important messages. This I always tell to people: do not let society tell you what to do and what to be. If at any point in time you feel like you want to be a content creator, yes, you're going to have family members who are not going to understand. You're going to have friends, maybe even your parents, who are going to discourage you and tell you what you're trying to do makes no sense and you're stupid and you need to get a real job, like be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer or some other nonsense. The worst thing you could do for yourself is listen to those people. Like, I cannot stress enough, like, the number of years that I wasted trying to please other people with the things that I did with my life. So seeing other kids be interested in my work as a content creator and hearing them say things like, I want to be a photographer when I grow up, or I want to be a rapper or a singer or some sort of creative professional, that's probably one of the best feelings and one of the best things that ever happened to me while I was on a shoot. And, you know, I'll never forget that day. And wherever those kids are today, I hope they're really, really working towards following their dreams, and they're not letting some person who was born in the 60s, who doesn't understand what the future looks like, to hold back their dreams and stop them from becoming who they are or who they're going to become on their own, I guess. So, moving on from Moyosore's question, our next question says, what's your favorite? Oh my God. I can't read this question out, because if I read it, this video is probably going to get demonetized and I'm going to get a lot of hate in the comment section. So we're going to skip this one. Thank you so much, Moyosore, for your questions. I appreciate you. And yes, so that was Ask Kagan episode 2. Let me know what you think. I am using a cheap lavalier mic to record this because, you know, I don't really want to bring a whole audio setup on top of a mountain. It would be too stressful. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I will see you guys on another video that was shot by Kagan. And I'm about to go down a mountain now and go back home. Or maybe I need to get food before I go home, since Titilayo asks me how often I eat. But yeah, pray I don't die, because I think climbing a mountain wearing socks and flip-flops is actually a terrible idea. Please don't do it. I realized today how bad an idea that was. I actually took off my slippers. Anyways, I'll see you guys on another video that was shot by Kagan, and it was really fun answering your questions, the great ones, and that last question, oh my God. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Peace.